Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt here with Tanks Lawn Maintenance. It is currently 8:44 a.m. Thursday morning, February the 13th, 2025 year of our Lord. I'm sitting in the truck right now. It's barely raining right now. It's supposed to stop around 9 o'clock, maybe a little bit later. We've got some pine straw to go pick up. Got to go get 34 bales. I've got 3 on the trailer now, but I got to go get 34 more. And we got 3 pine straw jobs to do today. And hopefully the weatherman didn't lie to us. Hopefully we'll be able to get all this stuff done today, because I really don't need to be working tomorrow. I've got some things that I've got to do with the family tomorrow, but I've only got to work one day this week, so if I do have to wind up working tomorrow, it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna sneeze at it, but part of the business, right? You got to deal with the elements. But anyway, guys, I want to talk to y'all about contracts for a second. I had a pretty lengthy conversation with Buster Davis yesterday down at New Hope Cuts, and you know, I've posted a lot of videos about the way I'm doing things this year in 2025 with contracts and my new minimum and all that good stuff. And he brought up a valid point. You know, we had a hurricane come through our area. I don't know if it went through his area or not, but it did mess up a lot of stuff in the state of Georgia. We didn't get it like North Carolina and Tennessee, but we were devastated in my area, the Augusta, Georgia area. We did get devastated. There's a lot of damage that is still hasn't been repaired yet, and there's still a lot of trees piled up on the sides of the road. It's just too much volume for the tree companies to handle. So yeah, we're dealing with that. But he asked me, he said, what about in an event like that? If you have customers and their properties get ruined, or they just simply can't afford to pay you to maintain their property no more because they had so much damage that they have to come out of pocket for, what do you do in that situation? Do you credit some money back to the customers? Do you make them continue paying for the rest of the year? What do you do? Here's the thing, guys. The way I have my contract set up, it says it in the terms of service. It explains to them what they're getting, the price that they're paying for each individual service, and it is broken down over a 12-month period. And they just pay an average price every month. So the way this works is I let them know, if for some reason you cannot continue service, whether you're unsatisfied, whether you lose your job, whether you have a natural disaster and I can't service your yard anymore, whatever it may be, you can drop service, you can cut service at any time. But if you do cut service, like I said, you're paying an average over a 12-month period, okay? I'll use a customer that I lost last year, for example. She's actually the one that made me decide to go to contracts. This customer is the very first customer I lost last year. I want to say she was paying $175 per month, and in that she was getting 23 services, okay? 23 lawn care services. That included bi-weekly from March through November, weekly from December through February. I'm sorry, not weekly, monthly from December through February. And in that contract, it also included 3 bush trimming services, and it also included me taking care of the leaves while I was on the property for the mowing services. Now, to mow her lawn, it would have been $75. If she was to pay per service, it would have been $75. To trim her bushes, it would have been $225 per service, okay? We trimmed the very first month. She dropped us after the very first month, guys. We mowed her lawn. That following Friday, we trimmed her bushes. The very next service, we came out there and we mowed her lawn. And in that service, we also maintained her beds. Well, she decided to text me, and she didn't do this just to me. She did this to several companies this past year, from what some of her neighbors told me. They said she went through 7 different landscapers throughout the course of the summer. That's a lot, man. That's a whole lot. Well, she texted me and told me that her yard looks like trash. She was not satisfied with the service. blah, 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 blah. She wanted to discontinue service. And then she proceeded to tell me that she wanted to be reimbursed for every service that I had, for any service that she had paid for that I had not done yet. And I simply just had to text her and tell her, you know, I hate that we couldn't make you happy. Hate that you were unsatisfied. But as far as owing you money, if anyone owes anybody anything, you actually owe us money. It would have been $75 every time we came out and mowed your lawn. It would have been, I want to say it was $110 anytime we maintained your beds, and it was $225 anytime we trimmed your bushes. You got your lawn mowed twice, which equaled up to be $150. You got your beds maintained one time. That equaled up to be $110. You got your bushes trimmed one time. That equaled up to be $225. So you can do the math. You've paid us one payment of $175. So if there's anybody that owes anybody any money, it would be you owing us for the work that has been completed that you have not paid yet. But I did not push the issue. It's simply not worth it to go to court or anything like that over $300 or $400 worth of service, because after you wind up paying the court fees and dealing with the headache and all that good stuff, you're going to wind up being in the hole. So I didn't push the issue, but that's simply the reason why I went to contracts. That way I can get paid for the services that have already been completed. That's all I want. I'm not going to force anyone. If they don't want me to maintain their property year round, and if they decide up front that they want year-round maintenance, but then something happens throughout the year and they decide they need to cut services, I'm not going to force them to pay me for the rest of the year. That's garbage. You shouldn't do that to people, for one. I mean, there's got to be some human element there, and you've got to know the difference between right and wrong. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the right thing to do is. Each business is different and each person is different. That's up to you to figure out what the right thing to do is in each situation. But I'm simply not going to force someone to let me service their property and continue to pay me when either A, they're not satisfied, or B, they can't afford it. All I'm doing this for is so I can make sure that I am getting paid for the services that have already been completed, whether it be one service or 20 services. I just want to make sure that I'm not losing money. And if you're going to take monthly payments, the only way that you can keep from losing money is if you have that in the stipulations. It has to be in a written contract. Just wanted to put that out there, guys. It's something for you to sit on, and I hope y'all got something out of it, man. If you did, hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you didn't, that's fine too, man. But look, I hope y'all have an amazing day. I hope y'all stay dry out there, and I hope y'all are staying busy, and most importantly, I hope y'all are growing, man. I really do. But look, man, I'll catch y'all on the next video, and until then, y'all keep cutting that grass and keep making that money. Holla at y'all. Bye.